everybody, welcome to another Political reaction video. I'm your girl Olivia Rondo, and today we are looking at some left-wing nonprofit people testifying before the House Oversight Committee, arguing with Republicans and acting like everything they do was just, nonprofit. Let's get into it.
Ms. Yentl, you're currently I want to get this right, the CEO of the National Council of Nonprofits. Am I right?
Yes, that's right.
And you were former president of the National Low Income Housing Coalition?
Correct.
Okay. In your current job as the CEO of the National Council of Nonprofits, are you familiar with the nonprofit that has been mentioned here up on the dais, the Power Forward Communities?
I am.
You have, okay.
Yeah.
And that 5 organizations led the Power Forward, and one of them was were you familiar with Rewiring America?
Yes.
And do you know that Stacy Abrams was their lead counsel?
I believe she was an advisor.
She was.
Yes.
Well, I have it right here. It says that she was, this is from their press release, she was their senior counsel. Okay?
Okay.
Stacy Abrams ran for governor of Georgia. What party? Do you know? Are you aware?
Yes, she's a Democrat.
Democrat, okay. And in 2022, she was also the Democratic candidate for governor of Georgia?
I think that I'm sure it's true if you're saying.
And she worked with, as we just mentioned, Rewiring America in 2023. Power Forward had a balance of, do you know what the balance was in 2023? We mentioned up here earlier. It was
No.
$100. And then, of course, we know in 2020, are you also aware Stacy Abrams campaigned for Joe Biden for president?
If you say so.
Yeah, she's a Democrat. So, Ms. Yandel,
Will the gentleman yield?
no, I don't have enough time. I would. If you
All right.
give me an
Thank
extra
you, my
minute, I would
friend.
love to.
Okay.
Ms. Yandel, CEO of the National Council of Nonprofits.
Yes.
How much did Joe Biden, his administration, give, Stacey Abrams campaigned for Joe Biden, how much did they give to Power Forward?
So I'm so glad to have a chance to address the
Do you know how much it was?
egregious mischaracterization.
Okay, was it $2 billion?
I don't know the number.
Okay, it was $2
offhand.
billion. Okay, that's quite a bump from a C note to $2 billion. How did the Biden administration justify this gift? Do you know?
So what
Why did they give them
happened?
the money?
Thank you. So many of these organizations.
Well, ma'am, do you know
that
how? I don't have the
received
time.
funding.
Okay, you don't know?
Oh, no, I would love to answer
Okay,
the question.
Was it
May
for
I?
No, was it? Well, I'm trying to help you because I don't have enough time. Green energy grants?
May I answer the question, sir?
You got 10 seconds. Could you answer the question? Do you know what it was for?
These were coalitions of long-standing organizations.
Okay, so you're not going to answer the question. It was for green energy grants. Once Stacey Abrams got that money, it just so happens that 2 other nonprofits that she founded, Fair Count. Have you ever heard of that one?
So I'm here to
yes.
support
Do you know what
the
Fair
work of
Count is or
nonprofit
not?
organizations.
Okay, you don't know.
Oppose
No,
efforts
Madam
to
Chair,
target organizations.
Madam Chair, I reclaim my time.
With views separate
Madam
from
Chair,
the administration.
please freeze the time. You're here to testify and answer questions, and you will not answer the questions. You don't know what Fair Count is. I asked the question. Do you know or not?
No.
Have you ever heard of it? You've never heard of it. Okay. It's a voter mobilization group for.
I think she's lying when she says she doesn't know what fair count is. I mean, you know what's really funny is you can really see her tactics. They're clearly very obvious, at least to me in this video. When he says, hey, I have a limited amount of time, I have 10 seconds left. She says, well, these are long-standing coalitions. Like, she draws out her words, long-standing coalitions. She wanted to waste his 10 seconds. I mean, she knows I've never testified before House Oversight or any congressional committees before, and even I know that there's a very limited amount of time for questions and answers. So answer the question. She was never going to answer the question, and I think she was a little bit emboldened to waste more time when he said, I only have 10 seconds left, because that's when she started to draw out her words. Okay, so you're not going to answer the questions. You're going to say, oh, I'm just here to support the power of nonprofits. I think real questions need to be asked and answered, like he's attempting to do here, about not just Stacey Abrams nonprofits, but I mean, people on both sides of the aisle for sure, but it just seems like Democrats really don't want to answer these questions, especially when it comes to the nonprofits and the PACs surrounding supporting Biden and Kamala in the last election cycles. So are we really surprised? Not really, but it would be nice to have some clarity and some answers, which she doesn't seem like she wants to give us, but let's continue.
Black voters. That does nothing whatsoever to do with green energy. And you know, just so happens, as a mystery of the universe, it's a coincidence that the president of that organization is a gal named, let's see where her name is. Her name is Janine McLean. Her middle name is Abrams because that's her maiden name. She's Stacy Abrams' sister. It's a miracle. You want to talk about incestuous? I mean, the Tide Center also was running an organization called Southern Economic Advancement Project. They got money as well, and they fund a lot of Hamas protest groups across the country. So this is incestuous, Madam Chair. It's backdealing money laundering from nonprofits. Everyone up on this dais supports true charitable nonprofits, not political nonprofits or basically government organizations, because it's funneling money into the pockets of Democratic activists. Nothing more. Case in point, Ms. Yentl, what is your total annual compensation?
I don't see how that's relevant, but if you're interested, it's public information, which is
Well-
evidence of the accountability and transparency that nonprofits adhere to.
Yes.
Well, he asked you, so I'm sure he's interested. Let's see if she'll actually give a real answer.
Your predecessor made $583,000. I suspect you get something similar.
I do not.
So you don't.
That is
You wanna
not my
share?
salary.
Okay, but
You
that
can
was
look-
what
you
your
can
predecessor
Google it.
was, because as you
public
said, it's
information.
publicly traded or publicly
Yes.
available information.
Yes.
When you were the president of the, ironically,
Okay, so I guess her publicly available salary on the chart behind him is about $400,000. Okay, so much less than 580, so much less. Okay, whatever. And she really didn't want to answer that. And she was betting on him not having that publicly available information because that's why she made that snarky little comment, not knowing the chart was about to go up. But I digress.
National Low Income Housing Coalition, what was your annual compensation?
That's not quite right, but
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's from a whole other thing. So on the National Low Income Housing Council, you're making $400K. That's nice. That's really nice. I wish I made that.
would you like to?
It was
would you like me to speak
$399,000.
to executive salaries
It was
at
three-
nonprofits?
It was $399,000, was it not?
quite, no.
It was not. That's what it says. You're under oath.
I see that it says that. That was not my salary. Thank you.
Okay, so, all right, well, we'll check that out.
Please
Madam
do.
Chair, I yield back.
I'm kind of at a loss. Okay, so that was Texas Representative Pat Fallon just asking, in my opinion, really simple, easy questions. What is your salary? How much do you make? Well, if you're really interested in that, you would check out the publicly available information. I think you could just ask you because you're sitting right in freaking front of him in front of the House Oversight Committee. I think it would be a really simple and easy question to answer, but I guess not. And, you know, these, in my opinion, these nonprofits, like Fallon said, they're just funneling money into the Democrat super party. If you're not going to be upfront that you're a PAC, that you are a governmental, not even just a PAC, if you're not going to be upfront that you are basically a governmental organization because your only purpose is to fundraise for re-election campaigns of Democrats that are already in office, just shut up. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Under the guise of black voter empowerment. You know, that was a whole thing with like the Georgia, especially Georgia, but with the, Senate runoffs, that election in 2021, acting like black people can't get an ID to vote, acting like black people can't get to the polls because we're just so dumb and we're so stupid and we're so poor. They totally, Abrams specifically, but many people in Georgia Democrats and other Southern leftists use that narrative that black people are so disenfranchised as voters to raise millions and millions of dollars for themselves. Now, I didn't even know that her sister was running one of the nonprofits, but as Fallon said, incestuous. I think you put it perfectly. I think that this lady, Diane Yentl, the president and CEO of the National Council of Nonprofits, that sounds like a fake thing anyways, to be honest. That sounds like nothing but a money laundering slush fund scheme, but what do I know? I'm just Olivia with Politibrawl. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe to Politibrawl, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.